Welcome to this episode of our program Daily Debate. As usual, we will be discussing an important debate and the latest event that are ongoing in Egypt. Today we'll be speaking about the Somali president who is in Egypt, here where he was received by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. We have been witnessing a kind of positive developments in relations between Egypt and Somalia, particularly in the recent years, and most importantly when the Prime Minister, on behalf of President Fattah al-Sisi, attended the inauguration of the Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud in Mogadishu recently, where he conveyed the invitation of President Sisi to the Somali president here in Egypt, and today is the culmination of this invitation, which we are going to speak about the significance of it and the talks that have been held by the president or by both leaders. We'll be speaking about that in our episode tonight with our guests, Dr. Khalid Abu Hiba, Chairman of the Investment and International Cooperation Committee of the National Council for Strategic Planning. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we delve into our discussion, let me first take this first report. And President Fattah al-Sisi and Somali President hold talks, affirm the need to reach binding deal on GERD without delay. Let's watch.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said he has agreed with his Somali counterpart Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud the need to reach a binding deal on the filling and operation of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. During a joint press conference with Sheikh Mahmoud in Cairo, President al-Sisi said that this should be based on the United Nations Security Council statement in September last year in order to preserve regional security and stability. President al-Sisi said he discussed with his Somali counterpart the GERD issue, affirming that they highlighted the danger of unilateral policies when implementing projects on transboundary rivers. The President added that they affirmed the necessity to abide by the principle of cooperation and prior consultation between riparian states on the GERD to ensure no harm is caused to any of them in accordance with the relevant international law resolutions. On the Somali independence, President al-Sisi congratulated Mahmoud for assuming post in June as an important step towards enhancing Somalia's stability. The head of state said that Egypt was one of the first countries to recognize Somalia's independence in 1960 and has kept on supporting the African country to achieve security and stability. The president stated that Egypt's martyrs who lost their lives in order for Somalia to gain its independence and preserve its territorial integrity will always be remembered with pride. Close visions were highlighted today during President al-Sisi and Mahmoud's talks, where both leaders agreed that their talks reflected these visions that they share on many bilateral and regional issues and files of mutual concern. President al-Sisi said he reviewed with Mahmoud all aspects of ongoing bilateral cooperation and means of boosting them in order to cope with the Egyptian-Somali political relations. The talks also touched on cooperation projects, where President al-Sisi said he followed up with Mahmoud on the progress achieved with regards to the Egyptian-Somali bilateral cooperation projects and agreed on joint work to enhance efforts of economic development in Somalia. The President noted that he also followed up on efforts to open Bank Misr's branch in Somalia, which were crowned with success as Central Bank of Somalia granted the branch a final operating permit in July. On bilateral cooperation and regional issues, President al-Sisi and Mahmoud followed up on enhancing cooperation in educational realms, counter-terrorism and extremist thought by providing the required training to build the capacities of Somali cadres in all fields. Both leaders prioritized discussions on the Horn of Africa issues and agreed on enhancing security and stability in this region of strategic importance. The two presidents agreed on intensifying cooperation and coordination with Somalia on Red Sea security, stressing the responsibility of riparian states to draft all relevant policies with a comprehensive perspective that takes into account the developmental, economic and security dimensions. support to Somalia. President Sisi reiterated that Egypt affirms support to Somalia efforts to enhance peace and security in the country and eliminate terrorism in order to achieve the desired development, overcome the current challenges, and fulfill the people's aspirations. For his part, Somali President Mahmoud affirmed that since the independence, Egypt and Somalia have been linked by security, economic, social service delivery means and areas. He noted that there are still schools built by Egyptians in Mogadishu and many parts of Somalia. The Somali president also hailed the unique support provided by Egypt in terms of Somali security and social service delivery, and for the role of Egypt in rebuilding Somalia. Sheikh Mahmoud's visit to Egypt comes less than 2 months after he received in Mogadishu Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, who traveled to the Somali capital to attend Mahmoud's inauguration ceremony on behalf of President Sisi, hailing in a speech the historic and strategic relations between Egypt and Somalia.